This is about that Andor show, huh?
Yeah, a little show that a couple people were talking about.
I heard about that show.
Seems like it's pretty good. So,
So they say.
And a heartbreaker, like a serious heartbreaker.
I might have cried a little bit at it, possibly.
Nothing! 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 You just don't turn it off! Nothing! 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 Nothing is over! Nothing! Nothing! You just don't turn it off! Nothing!
What's up, everybody? We have the privilege of talking to the infamous Tony Gilroy again. He is back on the channel. I'm really, really excited. Really cool dude. Really dope. And he made a show called Andor that we can't stop talking about, and y'all can't either. So we get the privilege of asking him a couple questions about it now that the show has wrapped. So it's going to be great to pick his brain a little bit, and see what led to making one of the greatest shows of all time. I'm just going to put that out there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely straightforward. Straightforward.
All right.
Welcome back to the channel, Tony. How you been?
I'm good. I'm a little out of focus. Hang on. There we go. All right. I'm good. No, this is I've been on the road now for I don't know, 8-10 weeks. So this is kind of the end of the line. So this is good. We can wrap everything up right here. I don't have anything on my schedule after this. So.
Nice. Yeah, I see you popped up all over the place. Like every day I see Tony Gilroy here, Tony Gilroy there. I'm like, good Lord,
Man,
he is
I
all
went out
over.
everywhere. We really
Interviews after interviews.
Yeah.
It's like...
we all went out. Diego went out and everybody went everywhere. No, I mean, you got to do it, right? I mean, it's they made a big investment. We're really proud of it, and we just couldn't get all those other people to watch it. We could get all the Star Wars people to watch it, but we couldn't get everybody else. So we really went at it, and I think we turned the corner on it.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people I've talked to that aren't even Star Wars fans
that dove into this.
That decided to watch it. And the good thing about the show is you don't really need to be a Star Wars fan. You can just appreciate it for being a good show, but it'll spark interest and get you interested in other things. So it's like it kind of lowers the barrier to entry, and it's just a good show on its own. So I think a lot of people that weren't initially into it decided to give it a chance, and they were glad they did, because it's just that kind of show.
That's why we rallied up so strong. That's why everybody went out and worked really hard. We went all the way around the planet. We went everywhere. So you get kind of sick of yourself after a while, but it's but you figure you kind of figure that everybody's not seeing everything. So you got to grab those people where you can. So.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to find questions that you probably haven't been asked a billion times, because I'm like, you're probably going to be sick of answering the same thing again and again. And hopefully I did, but we do appreciate the show, and a lot of our viewers appreciate it too, because we talk about it with them. So,
well, I wasn't the only one who was all over the place. You guys were out in L.A. and then you were in New York.
Yeah. Kind of thanks to you though, but we did a little bit of traveling too.
Good old invite.
Just a little bit of traveling. Definitely posted on Instagram, bragging a little bit, but yeah, it was a fun time.
Like red carpet. Oh.
It's always something like watching a show, but then being able to meet the people that are in the show. It was a surreal experience. Like, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And then to go back home and watch it again, I'm like, oh man, it was something else.
And it really hit home for me because you go into work and you get crew members at your job who just started to watch Andor. They don't care about Star Wars at all, but they start to watch it, not because I'm telling them to watch it. They come to you and they say, hey, dude, have you watched Andor? I'm like, of course I did. And then I pop up with pictures on my social media.
Yeah.
So now I'm at work beating my chest saying, yeah, so about that.
Like, I'm part of the universe.
Part of the universe now. So it was a good feeling, like meeting you, talking to you, like meeting Diego. Like, it's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
It's more than just meet, greet, have a good night, see you next time. It changed our lives in a way where it had a really positive drive behind it.
Yeah.
I love that. It's great. No, I mean, there's so many strange things when you go out and sell something. And I'm not the only person who's ever said this. I've talked to other people. You work on something for years. The first movie I made, and you go out and you kind of find out when you're selling it why you really did it. Like, you find out all these other things later on about what you did. Um, it's extremely educational in a very strange way. You find out. I don't think it would help you. Like I don't think you learn anything that you needed to know before because you're flying on instincts or you're doing whatever. But you find out why you did a lot of things. You find out about yourself a bit, and uh, some of the people that we've been out there with. I mean, you've heard Diego. Diego's just amazing at talking about the
Oh
show.
yeah.
Genevieve's amazing at talking about the show, and Adria got really amazing at talking about the show. People are really you watch them and you start to learn from each other. It's pretty. Um, it's not all a grind. I mean, it's tiring some of it, and some of it gets boring, but by and large, you come away getting something out of it, I think.
I think that's one of the things that got me excited about season 2, just hearing how they talked about it and
Yeah.
knowing how crazy season 1 was, and the way they talked about season 2 was like, oh, you're not even ready for this. So that got me a little concerned and scared because I'm like, season 1 destroyed me. So what the hell's going to happen here? Like when they were at the LA event, when they were just talking about like the emotional weight of the show, and of course they didn't spoil anything, but just kind of preparing people like this is going to be crazy. And then you watch it, it's like they didn't prepare for anything. It's way crazier than I thought it was going to be. It was good Lord. But they were so excited about it, and which in turn got me excited. And man, y'all just over delivered with that because I couldn't believe what I was watching.
It's tricky, right? Because you go out and you're really feeling good about it, but you don't want to overhype it, but you're
Right.
feeling really strong. At the same time, you're there. Like, what are you doing? You're there to sell the thing. So
Right.
you're supposed to. It does no, and you could tell the funky junket, and we've all been on it, where it's like, oh, she's so fantastic, and this is so fantastic, and everything's fantastic, and we loved and it's like, okay. But this was a little different this time. Everybody, because we finished the show, we were completely done with the show back in November, so everybody knew it. We all knew what we had, and everybody'd seen it. And so the smart thing that we did this time, we let the reviewers and we let all the press see all 12 episodes beforehand.
Oh.
We didn't do that last time. I don't know how I can't remember exactly, but they were embargoed over time. And this was a really big decision that we made like a long time ago. Like, okay, we're going to do it differently this time. And everybody's worried that things are going to leak, and spoil and be spoiled. But it's kind of surprising how little leakage and spoiling there really is. And it really paid off for us. Everywhere we went with the press, to have the reviewers and the journalists having seen all 12 episodes just made a huge difference. We could really talk about the show,
Right.
and they could really feel it. Yeah.
That was good. And the decision to release it in three episode arcs, I don't remember. I don't think that's ever really been done. There's been shows that release a bunch of episodes at a time, but it hasn't been done like this in the span of a month. So like every week we're getting a movie, and the emotional weight of every single movie was crazy. And then you get a whole week to talk about it and decompress and think about what's going on, theorize where it's going, and then the next week you get to live that again. Is that journey through that whole entire month was great because the conversations I had about the show were just like amazing with friends and viewers, and we were just talking about like how are they going to do this, like because hearing that you were gonna jump like a year between each arc, I'm like, okay, so how's that going to work? I mean, to see how it works, and then nothing felt rushed or forced, and it just worked. I'm like, how in the hell did y'all do that? Like, how did it work? I don't understand.
I think you'll see, because if you think about it, we're at the infancy now of this whole of shows like this. It's only been, I mean, how long has it been since streaming and binging and 7 episodes, 9 episodes, 24. It's all brand new. We're at the very beginning of it. So I think you'll see all kinds of release schedules. I mean, for us, it made sense with what we were doing,
Yeah.
the way the shows lined up. It also meant that they could release it late enough and still qualify for the Emmys. So that gave them a window. They were like, oh, that. And I don't think it was any one thing, but all the things combined, and it seemed the first time it was proposed, I remember being at a marketing meeting when it was proposed, and everyone's like, "Oh, what? That's so radical and so strange." But it really isn't really strange at all. It's very hard for the podcasters. There was legit concern about that because podcasting becomes such a huge part of the sales, such a huge part of the marketing now. And you guys, I
Right.
mean, it's a function. It's a really important thing. And not giving, I mean, forcing people to eat 90 minutes and respond to it responsibly every week and catch up in 1 week is really tough. So
Mm.
yeah,
But it
that was
wasn't
that was
really
the biggest negative. Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't really tough this time as far as like because like I because of how I am with my work schedule. Like usually I tell him, hey, I'm a little sleepy tonight. I'm not sure we can really watch what we need to watch. But when it came to Andor, I'm calling him from work like, hey, I'm on my way home.
Yeah, you make time for it.
You know what time it is, and we were
Right.
trying our best to watch everything in a nice timing because this is not one of those shows that you want spoiled for you. This is not the show where you go on social media and they show you what just happened in the last episode. You want to watch it for yourself. That's how good this season was. People wanted
Weren't
to
you
avoid
surprised? I
spoilers.
thought people were pretty careful about it until the end. I was surprised how careful people were. There were some
Mm.
glitches, and some people went a little bit off, but we were just shocked by how responsible all the journalists were.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they really were. And we do all these interviews, and you sit down in the interview because you're doing so many of them. You go, okay, how long is this? How long is the interview? Oh, it's a 10, it's a 20, it's a 45, whatever it is. And then it's like, okay, and what are we gonna do? How do you want to? What are you gonna do for spoilers? And you know, I mean, we heard every strategy there was. We go, look, I'm gonna do the first half of the interview for non-spoilers, and then I'm gonna do this other thing, which I'm gonna hold till later on. Everybody, you're like, okay, just walk me through it. And I don't think anybody really broke the system. I can't remember any of them having to slap anybody's hand ever.
Mm.
No, kind of amazing, really.
Yeah, I know me personally. I didn't see any spoilers online until after the show
Yeah.
had wrapped. And then, of course, everything comes out on TikTok
Yeah,
and
then you gotta be
Instagram and
careful.
everything like that.
Boom,
But
Yeah.
while the show was running, luckily, and these days people are so quick to spoil anything when they see it. But with this show, it's just, it wasn't until the end of it that people started, posting the ending, their reaction to the ending and all that, which, of course you do because it's such an emotional weight there. Like, people want to, share what they felt, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
There was a certain respect for it.
Yeah, which
Yeah, once it's out, I mean, you can't. I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do. Then
Right.
you have to legislate for yourself.
right,
But,
right.
yeah, but it was kind of remarkable how responsible the press was, and
Yeah.
also, honest to God, literally, 2,500 people. We keep saying that all the time, but literally, like 2,500 people, 2,700 people worked on this show, and God knows how many more, people peripherally involved, and wives, and drivers, and the guy in the pub, and like over the last 3-4 years, like there's been one or two little minor incidents that had to be spanked down of people like maybe saying something, but nobody squealed. Nobody sent pictures out. There was no really kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
amazing.
see, I like that.
Especially with all the leaks that happen nowadays. That's just a
I
respect
know.
for the show. Like nowadays, everything leaks. It's like, good Lord, what's going on? But yeah,
But it's
that's
true for other shows too. I mean, there's other big shows that are, Anyway, it's kind of. I mean, I'm sure I'm saying that now, and someone's probably breaking that rule. But we got to the end, and we were like, wow, nobody published pictures of this, and nobody. I don't know. It was just kind of amazing. All the people,
Yeah.
all the extras working on it. And
Yeah.
Anyway, kind of wild.
so. I do have a couple questions
for it.
about the show. And once again, I got them written down so I don't mess this up. Uh, one thing I did want to talk about is like while season one was airing, there was a lot of conversations that I had with people where they thought Luthen was a Jedi because the way he acted and how he moved. So people thought that he was. Now that the show was done, we see he's not. But you found a way in this show to not have a single lightsaber, like the usual things you see in Star Wars. Even the term the Force is only used twice in the whole entire show. And still, it's like nothing is missing. Like this is one of the most grounded and important shows in the whole Star Wars universe. What was it an intentional decision to hold back on certain things to not like detract from the story?
Yeah, in the very beginning, I called out to Lucasfilm and to Pablo out there, and that was one of my first questions. How many beings in this galaxy have ever heard of the Force? Well, probably none. Probably very few.
Right.
And how many have ever seen a lightsaber? Probably very few. I mean, these things are not in the day-to-day lives of most of the beings that are in the galaxy.
Right.
And then that wasn't where we were living, and it wasn't what we were really interested in. And once you introduce that, I mean, if we introduced a lightsaber, just think of how warping it would be. How, I mean, it would just dominate the whole. Oh, who's that?
This is one of my cats trying to join the interview.
So just think how much it would warp. I mean, I don't know. So no, it was never intended to even have the Force, and it really, by the time we started really sketching that the second season, and when we decided that he was in Yavin in the very beginning, at the end when you find out when they fly away and he's in Yavin, and you start to think, oh my God, okay, so if he's in Yavin, and that really wasn't that wasn't where we were going to go first. We went to do that because, quite honestly, we didn't have enough money to build another planet. And so I was like, what assets do we have? And they said, my God, you can go to Yavin. And I said, what's it like? And they go, well, no one's there yet. And so that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then it's like, wow, he's in Yavin and he's on Aldani and he's everywhere. He seems to be everywhere that things are happening. And Gorman and so it seemed like he was on a bit more of a destiny path than I had originally sort of thought about. And then, well, maybe that is. Then you start to go, well, maybe that is his destiny. Maybe
Right.
that's the character's destiny. in the
Right,
show.
right.
So it seemed like, well, if there was a way to get it in, we could get it in. That would be cool. I always loved the movie Ghost. You know that movie Ghost, right? And like Whoopi Goldberg's like, I love that character where she's like a psychic, but she's been scamming for so long she doesn't really feel like she has any, like she doesn't have it anymore, and
Right.
she's just faking all the time. And he shows up, and she like really does still have it. It's really a cool. I love that moment. And I was like, maybe it's a little bit of that, like this woman who's, you know, who had a little bit of this ability, and people still that sands it down to a place where it's comfortable for me, and it makes it really real, and it also lets me tell a lot about Yavin very
Yeah.
quickly, and it once it started to dial in, it seemed like that was enough. But no, we never had any intention of making Luthen a Jedi. No. That was
Yeah, especially when you see how things play out, I'm like, yeah, he's not a Jedi. He's definitely not.
Definitely not a Jedi. No.
He's a necessity, but you know, he's not a Jedi.
He's Sergeant Lear.
Yeah. And I was surprised even seeing like his backstory, and that, you know, it added to the emotional weight because it's an episode like that. And it's like, good Lord, and seeing, you know, the change and the moment where he turned and how he acted, I'm like, okay, well, it makes perfect sense. And to fit that in one episode and still make it like feel organic, like that little bit you understand. You're like, okay, yeah, I see why he moves the way he moves now. And yeah, definitely not a Jedi, but you know, he does what needs to be done.
I wonder what he would think of a Jedi. I don't know if he even. Yeah, no, it'd be interesting. Yeah, but anyway.
Okay, I did have a question that, and it's depending on the answer, it might be a two-part question. In episode 11 of season 2, there's a voice on the radio, the flight controller, I believe, and you know, he tells K2 and Cassian, you know, you're not authorized to fly.
Yavin Tower, you have not been authorized to leave the base. You need to stand down and return immediately.
Is that voice yours?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Which leads me to part 2. There's a voice in Rogue One.
Yeah, well, that's why I had to do it. Yeah, because I got tricked. Yeah, I got tricked.
Oh, really?
No, they when we did Rogue, I was doing that live because I was trying to get something in for the actors, you know, and so I'm just doing that and fucking around, and then I always planned on it being, you know, and it's like kind of bad acting if you want to know the truth, and so when I go to the mix, I was expecting that to be replaced. And my brother and everyone there thought it was very amusing that it was not replaced. And I got overruled and time ran out. So it ended up in there. And then they came back this time and they're like, wow, you know, because we're trying to get everybody we can get who we had before, the radio operator and anybody we can get who was in Rogue that we can put in there. We want to get in there. And so it feels right. And they're like, wow, dude, you're the flight deck guy. You got to do it now. It's canon now. So I was kind of trapped. A little
They
bit.
kept it.
Yeah.
The crazy
That's
thing
my
is,
brother. That's my brother fucking with me. Yeah.
the crazy
It
thing is,
worked.
like, as many times as I've seen Rogue One, I'd never put two and two together. It's
Yeah,
after.
well, you could. Why don't you forget about it now?
No, it's pivotal now. It's important. It's part of the canon. In fact,
I'll tell you. All right, the one place where I was legit and was into it and did it on purpose, in Michael Clayton, when he gets in the cab,
Mhm.
I'm the voice of the cab driver. What are we doing? And I wanted to do that, and I'm happy with that. But this was I got skeeved into this. Yeah.
Oh man. We able to keep it.
We did a rewatch of Rogue One directly after Andor, and it still didn't register. It wasn't until I watched it again with a friend of mine, and then when that part came up, she's like, "Is that Tony Gilroy?" And I'm like, "Wait, no, it's not." And I played it again. I'm like, "Wait a minute! Like, did I
It's
miss
such
this all
bad
these years?"
acting. Oh my god. It's like, oh my god. It's so over the top. All right. Yes.
It was
me.
you.
It was me. It was
you.
me.
I mean, it's such a brief role, but it's still kind of important because
It's
it's
a
like,
little corny. It's a little corny.
I mean, it.
No,
You know,
when you
when
find
you,
out-
I think when you realize, it's like, oh shit! Like I didn't know. Like especially after all these years, that's a fun little detail. And it coming back around in Andor, I think that makes it
Coming
even.
back around for sure.
It makes it more impactful. He's still yelling at Cass, like, "What are you doing? You're not authorized." Like it's kind of an important moment. It's small, but it's like an Easter egg. When you
I
find
think
it,
the
like,
whole
oh, okay.
show basically is about that moment.
It's like he's. That's why they kept it.
That's really why. I think I'm going to go with that as my answer. The whole show is about the flight dispatcher, and we're going to come back and do another prequel, 10 episodes about that guy.
About the voice.
I mean, I'd watch it
I'll watch
because it'll probably be great. Maybe we actually get to meet him this time.
Yeah,
He has a whole
don't tease us.
backstory.
Exactly.
What led him to that
Watch it.
moment? My next question is about one of the best actors in the show, Clea, and when it comes to her and the kid version of her, they were both like equally incredible in the show. Number one, they look similar, they act similar, like direct, like you really buy that she's a younger version of Clea. Like how I've heard a couple things about how the adult actress was casted. How did y'all cast the younger actress? Because she nailed it.
Man, it's luck. It's like, well, Nina Gold and Martin Ware, who cast the show, are just, I mean, they are on the planet. I mean, I don't know who, I mean, they did Thrones, they did The Crown, they did Us. I mean, they are like, and they make it look easy, and they're wonderful people to be around. You just want to be around them all the time. I mean, we got lucky both times. When I came on the show in the beginning, before COVID, when I was going to direct it, the first casting conversation that we had was like, oh my God, we got to start now trying to find the young Cassian, because it's going to take forever and it's going to last months and we may never find him, and I don't want to get caught.
Right.
It came in the first audition tape.
Really?
The second actor that we saw was Antonio, and we were like, oh my God. Okay. Almost the same thing happened this time. We were like, okay, and it's different then. And I'll tell you why it's different. And this is actually interesting, and this doesn't get talked about. Imagine if you're Elizabeth Dulau and you've done what? How many episodes? 16 episodes or whatever she's been in that by point. You've done all your work. And now someone else is going to come in that you have no control over, and they're going to identify your performance in a different way. You have no control over it. And like, whoa, what if they suck?
Right.
Yeah.
It's affecting your performance in a weird way. So there was more pressure on it, interestingly, and oh God, I'm blanking on her name. What's her name? Shit. Anyway, but she was on the audition tape. It wasn't exactly like the second one we saw, but it was certainly early. There was, maybe we'd seen maybe 20 tapes, and she was on there. And I cannot remember I think I might have suggested to Alonzo that he show her as much of Elizabeth's performance as possible. from earlier on to cop her attitude and cop her body posture and I think that Alonzo, I mean, I didn't have a lot to do with how she was being directed. Uh, and Alonzo did a really amazing job of delivering her into Clea. And I know Elizabeth is just, she's got to be ecstatic about the consistency of how that enhances her performance in a way. Because it's so risky if you think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 1-to-1. It is pretty much 1-to-1.
And she has to be, it's such a difficult thing to do so quietly and quickly because it's my contention that she's always really been in control. You know, I was terrified that a couple things. I mean, I was terrified that I had to do that episode because I didn't want anybody to finish the show and redefine what that relationship was like.
Right.
I didn't want anybody to say, "Oh my God, what if they're sleeping together? Or what if she really is the daughter? Or what is it? Is it some pervy thing? Or how do they?
Yeah.
What is it?"
Yeah.
You know, I don't want anybody else to define it, so I wanted to be the one who defined it. The risk of defining it is, and defining it the way we're doing it, is you don't want to feel that, you know, that he really is manipulating her in some other way, or is he grooming her for terrorism in a weird way? You know, you can't feel that way. You have to really feel as if he's been the one who's been changed by what happens.
Yeah.
And that it's just as, I mean, other people may argue and say, oh, well, she's a child and it's not, but to my mind, she has to be a logical contender for a legitimate argument where she's the one who's in control.
Yeah.
And that's easy for Stellan to get to, but you don't know if you can make a 10-year-old girl rise up to that point, or a 9-year-old girl rise up to that point. And she did. It's amazing.
That leads to the point where, you know, conversations I was having with people where almost from the moment you meet her, when you see her interaction with Luthen, like you can tell like she's doing everything of her own volition, to her own will. Even when like you're watching the people get executed, he leaves, she stays. She's like, no, I'm staying here, and she wants to watch it so it can sink in to like ignite that drive. Where you're pretty much like, when it comes to him and her, she's kind of the boss because she you know, things happen because that's how, you know, she wants them to happen, and you know they're in this together, but like she's kind of in control of the whole situation. So it's like we had that idea, but like that episode kind of really solidified that. So that point definitely got across because she was
think
definitely.
About this. I mean, think about this. Of all the people in her village or her city or whatever's being destroyed outside there, of all the people that are dead, she's the lone survivor. She made it back in that thing. She survived, man. She's a machine. I mean, we're all, you know, people forget, we're all everybody who's walking around on the street, as as lame as they may seem, we're all the products of winners. Everybody here's, it's a lot of winning went into us being here.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, and a lot of grubby winning too, and a lot of nasty winning.
The fight, scratching and
yeah,
clawing.
man. And so she's the only survivor of her whole culture there. So yeah, she's a special creature.
Yeah.
Man,
One thing I like about this show, it highlights the wins and losses of some of the most important people in the story of Star Wars that never get talked about. Like they'll never have a parade like they had for, you know, the names we know, Luke, Leia, and all that. But these are pivotal pieces that got that done. Like if they didn't do what they did, there would be no victory. And like the show highlights their struggle and how important they are when they're not even celebrated. Like I think that's one of the strengths. It shows how grimy the world is for everybody and what people are willing to do to get stuff done. And these are people that don't do it for glory because they don't care about a parade or anything like that. Like Luthen knew what it was. He knew.
yeah, even when you heard him talk, he just knew he would never be able to celebrate what he's fighting for. He knows someone ahead of him would have to finish what he, you know, tried to do the whole time.
Right.
So that's why watching this show, you realize, to me, the way you wrote this is like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And you're watching all the pieces fit into a story that you know comes later on down the line, which to me is incredibly hard to do.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. And just, I don't know, watching Claire as a young girl, that kind of hurt to watch.
Yeah, of course.
Because there was an emotional connection that they built early on.
Yeah.
And then watching the episodes down the line, you're looking like, oh, man.
And it's already an emotional episode, and that just adds to it because you know what happened in the beginning, and you're like, good Lord.
Well, what would you do? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the show, think of all the things that happen to you when you watch something that really engage you. It's like you're watching it and hopefully it's surprising and inevitable and all the things it's supposed to do. But at the same time, you're going like, well, God, what would I do?
Right.
In that situation.
I mean, what would I be willing to give up? What would I sacrifice? These are really heavy questions, and weirdly, man, like people are having to ask those questions now in a way they never had to ask themselves before in our lives anyway.
Yeah.
So it really helps you out when you're telling a story if you stay legit and if people believe that the next thing that the character does is something, okay, that's what I would do. That's what the person would do. If that's the next real thing that the character would do, you really climb in with these people. And you'll probably pick somebody in the show. There's probably people in the show that you more identify with. And God knows we have enough people in the show for people to pick. You can pick and choose who you want to play with.
Right. I think that's one of the reasons why it landed so well, because like it felt real. It didn't feel like a space opera like some of the other Star Wars movies and shows feel like. It's a grounded show full of real people that you could see yourself being. And and some things when they do something like, well, I wouldn't do that, well, I would do this. In this one, like, I really didn't know, because like they were in a situation where I'm like, I don't know what the hell I would do, because I'm sitting here stressed out watching the show. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I would probably crumble half a dozen times in this. And I'm like,
with you, man. I am so with you. No, I don't know. I mean, yeah, and I'm with you, but it does make you think about it. And, and I think I don't think it has anything to do with the genre. Or if you're doing a Western or a sci-fi or a horror movie, like the biggest problem that writers make, I think, is when you violate what would really happen next. What is the thing that would really happen next?
Realistically,
and when you're trying to go, oh, well, I want them to go over here, but I wouldn't. They wouldn't do that, but I want them to, so I'm going to make them do that. Or if you watch a character who gets smarter, whose IQ goes up and down based on what the writer needs for that moment. All of a sudden, they're really smart, or then they're really stupid. You go, wow, really? What happened? They had her act together. And the foolish thing about it is, what you learn as you get really old and do it a long time, is that every time you violate that rule, it bites you in the ass. You have to go back and fix it.
Yeah.
And more confirming than that is every time you just follow that string and go, well, what would really happen next? It's always a better answer. There's always a better answer.
Yeah. It's something else, because like when the character's intelligence is believable, like you identify with it, you buy into it a lot easier. You don't have to like suspend your disbelief. You can just watch it like, yep, that's what would happen.
But you've seen shows where all of a sudden it's like, wow, she really was so smart. Why is she doing that?
Right.
All of a sudden, like, why is she so dumb?
Because the writer needs her to do that.
Yeah.
All the time. We've watched enough movies in the theater where we just sit there with our arms folded, like, how are you smart in the first 30 minutes? Then half of the movie that's over is.
Sometimes I'll excuse. I'm like, okay, well, it's just it needs to happen.
Brain
I guess.
fart, yeah.
You make excuses for it, but like when you watch something that you don't have to make any excuses, you watch it like, yep. It's just it hits different.
That
It hits different. Like the whole show just feels so real, and it just emphasized how scary this opposition is. We've seen them before, but like not like this, because everybody is realistic. Like both sides, like the good guys, the bad guys, like they're doing what people actually do and going to lengths that you're like, wow, these people are really evil, and it just makes you just hate them in a different way. Because then Star Wars is a show about, good versus evil, but like this is just like you see evil in a whole different light, and you see the necessity that people have to make and the sacrifices they have to make to just get ahead without even assurance of victory. Like they're like, we got to do something. Like, even the line "rebellions are built on hope," which hits crazy because it's not just a line. Like it's got so much weight behind it, and you're seeing what people are doing, and it's just, I don't know, it's different.
Yeah, the show is filled with people who said, well, I can't just sit on my ass.
Yeah.
Like, I literally have to do something, or this thing will continue to happen to us over time. And that's where the tragedy starts to come in, because you have people who are
or they don't
involved
have
in
a
the fight.
choice.
Yeah.
No
Or
choice.
just,
Exactly.
you know,
No
just
choice.
you know, as we said, we've been saying it all the time. It's like a trope, but like, you know, when history comes knocks your door down, what happens? I mean,
Right.
I mean, I thought I lived through all, you know, I thought I lived through history. I lived through Vietnam and all the 60s and all the racial issues of the 60s and drugs and like and then what? And then 9/11 and the invasion of Iraq and COVID and like you're going like, you know what? What? I saw a lot of history.
Yeah.
Being an old man, I saw that. I didn't realize, man, history hadn't even started for me yet. History's coming for me now.
There's too many
The last
turning
2
points.
years, like, holy shit, I had no idea it could be like. So, like, yeah, a lot of these people just don't have any choice, man.
Right.
It's just yeah, pick a side, man. Pick a way. Pick a thing. Pick a team.
Man.
Pick a morality. Yeah.
Another question I had was about the monologues in Andor, because it's no surprise that these are some of the best monologues that have ever been written. And what is the writing process for these speeches? Because like each one is different and they all hit at a pivotal moment that has weight behind it. And it's like it's these speeches they have where you really listen, whether it's Saw Gerrera or Luthen or anybody, Mon Mothma, all of these characters have these incredible speeches. Like how do you construct? Do you start with a certain event and then write around it, or do you how does it come together? If that's an easy question to answer.
You know, it's kind of like our show is kind of like a marathon relay race. So there's a lot of people, you know, the Bo and Danny and Tom Bissell and the other people, and Stephen Schiff was involved in the first season, and like so. What do I know? I mean, you can't really. You don't want to just be. The monologues are kind of like shredding, like in a guitar or something. You know, it's really like they're like shredding. They're very showy. They're very flashy. They're not, for me, they've never been that difficult to do. I did a movie called Devil's Advocate and I had to do a whole bunch of them. And I wrote a presidential speech in Armageddon in like an hour, I remember. It's like, once you get on they have to be packed. Like the musket has to be packed. The situation has to be there. In our case, depending on whose episodes they were, you know, people took different passes at them and there's usually what's a good example? I mean, I wanted to give Perrin a speech. You know, I really we're trying to figure out, does Mon Mothma, after she leaves the Senate, does she go back to Chandrila? Does she see Perrin again? There was going to be maybe a speech with him and her, a confrontation back in the house or something. And then it was like, oh, I can't. We're not going to do that for a bunch of different reasons. And then so Alistair McKenzie, who's playing Perrin, who's just so good and such a great guy and just such a marvelous actor, and took so much shit from the first season of being so hated and everything. And I was like, and I didn't really feel that way about him completely. And so I was like, you know what? I said, he was very disappointed. I said, we're not going to do this, go back to Chandrila after the Senate. We can't do it. So I said, but there's the wedding. And I think it's entirely appropriate that the father of the bride, you know, I'll make a tradition and I'll make a speech for you. And let me see if I can find enough emotional rationale and place for it. And it really rose up on its own. Well, what would he give a speech about? He'll be the person who gives the speech that's the counter argument to everything else that's happening in the show, which is like, you know what? You guys can all run around and do all the stuff you want to do, but I'm going to live here right now and I'm going to look at this and I'm going to have this drink and I'm going to sleep with this beautiful woman and I'm going to have this great food. I'm going to do this thing and let's see when we die, who thinks they won, you know? And that needs to be said. No one else is saying that. So, you know, and then, you know, I stack up the issues and they usually go pretty quick. Some of them are handoffs. Some of them are, you know, Bo had the amazing idea of doing the Rido speech for Forrest with you know, this whole idea of the Rido and the Rido being the the smell of revolution and the craziness of revolution, and Bo's been out and he's been tear gassed a bunch of times, and I guess there's a thing where people have been tear gassed a bunch of times, and like the smell of tear gas actually becomes something that people actually like.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know
Weird way.
that.
Like the
Jesus.
people that have been out there a bunch, they're like kind of into it, and it's like I go, that's crazy. Let's have that. And so he does a bunch of passes on it, and then maybe I'll sand it down and do a couple other things to it and try to get it smooth. And they you don't want to just be putting them in for no reason.
Right.
You don't want to just be, because you don't want to be shredding in the middle of a song. It's like they're very the show has a kind of writing in general that fits it too, because the show is very declarative. People really say what they mean in the show. There's a lot of subtext and a lot of people talk around a lot of things, but when people need to say what they mean, they say it in this
Right.
show, which was a really interesting thing for me. And I think it's not always the way that I wrote. I think it fit for the show, it fit for these actors, and so the speeches kind of go in with that. They're the bigger piece of that, I guess. It's a long answer, but
I mean, it makes
Good
sense.
answer.
Even like the Rido speech, like, because he comes off as, kind of an extremist, and we know what he's about. But at the same time, the stuff that he's saying, you're like, well, yeah, it does make sense. Like, I think his line is "revolution is not for the sane," or something like that. And you're like, yeah, you got to be a little out there to do something like this because you know what you're risking, and it makes sense. So you buy
no,
into
but
it
also
more.
like all it takes is a little bit of friction and the whole thing will blow up.
Right,
it's
right.
like, it's like, wow, it's like it is revolution. It was just a great idea. I love that idea. I loved it. And so yeah, and so that makes for that gives you the raw materials to make a bonfire,
Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
kindling, yeah.
And you got a great speech along with great music, and you're just watching this scene like, holy shit. Like, it's
You got
just-
Forrest Whitaker too, man. You got
yeah,
Forrest
he's just
Yeah,
killing
he
it.
just killed it.
He's killing it. I'm like, wow. I'm watching this scene in disbelief because what he's talking about is kind of wild. You're like, well, but then he starts talking like, yeah.
Gotta make sense. Gotta make sense.
Like,
Plus,
I
he's
get it.
explaining the mask. Plus, it explains the mask.
Yeah,
in Rogue.
yeah.
Everybody thought he was like sucking oxygen or something.
Yeah.
Nope. Getting lit.
He's hucking Carbona in there, man.
Feeling good.
I don't think they make Carbona. I remember when I was in junior high school, there were kids who were huffing Carbona. Yeah.
Jesus, what was that?
It was like a rug cleaner. It was like some horrible,
Like paint, like-
remember, I never seen anybody huffing. It's like the worst drug in the world. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. Ooh.
I know. When I was growing up, people would like whipped cream cans,
Yeah, the
like they
whippets,
would they would do that.
No.
It's a variety of things. No speech, though. Just doing it to do it, but.
No, Rido's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different. I guess it motivates you to really, do good.
For his character in general. Like when you watch
Yeah.
Rogue One,
Yeah,
you realize
yeah.
it's like if you watch it without really paying attention, the first thing you say is, "Oh, he's just crazy." That's the first thing you say.
It's
Like, you're not-
easy to say that, but like
when you see what his motivation is, you get backstory.
when you see what he's been through versus
Yeah, yeah.
what he's trying to do,
what he's been through.
it's easy to jump to conclusions, but like these are in this show, they're the characters that you can't take at face value because there's so many layers to them. You got to understand what they're talking about, where they are in life, what they've been through, what they're trying to do, and once all you got to do is pay attention. Like it's a show where you have to pay attention to the show because of the dialogue and what's going on. But once you pay attention, you understand what's going on, and you see that you can't really call anybody crazy because they're here for a reason, and what they're doing needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's easy to call somebody like Luthen evil, but who else is going to do what he does?
necessary evil.
Yeah, it's necessary. Right?
evil. This show hurt. I need to say. I'm sorry. I need to say it, and I don't like to hold back on words just to be calm and cool. This show hurt. If a show bothers me after it goes off, I'm actually upset because
Every time I watch it, I cry at the same parts every single time. And like I try to hold the back and tears just start forming. I'm like, every single time it hits.
all three of us had the balloon face trying to watch this show for the
Yeah,
whole season.
that David bumped my chair around. I'm like, oh God. And it was from like in the finale episode, just the lead up. And last time we talked to you, you explained what y'all were gonna do. It's gonna lead directly into Rogue One. The way it led directly into Rogue One, oh my God. Cause like you just get this montage of everybody preparing and all the pieces falling into place, and him just walking to the shit broke me because he's putting on the jacket. You hear the music, and like he sees the force healer and has that nod, and because she knows, and he's going to. I'm like, oh my goodness!
The
Like
one
the
that
way that
kills
was.
me, the one that kills me, I don't think it's in the script. I don't know if it's Alonzo or if it's Diego or who did it. When he waters the plants.
He waters the plants. He waters the
I'm like,
plants.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
because that's such a
God.
pivotal moment. Because even the discourse online, he ain't gonna water his plants. Like she's gone, they gonna die. Like he makes sure to water the plants. Like it's a small touch, but it means so much.
That's the breaker for me. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Now have you
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's very cool. Very cool.
have you had a point of showing emotion in front of others on set, like while watching a certain scene, like especially towards the end where he's like putting his jacket on, he laces up his boots. Did you show emotion at that point? Was it a little hard for you to know?
I really never on set. I almost never went to set for a whole bunch of different reasons. But I mean, I watch everything on this. In the morning, I would be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd be watching all the dailies from the day before and doing all my stuff. I mean, I'm deeply involved in everything. And but the way we design the show is to get everything absolutely, completely blueprinted and then let the director and the actors go off. And then we monitor what's going on. But when you mix at the end, when we're mixing, we've been mixing now together, the people that are there, the 8 people or 10 people that are involved in the mix. We're going all the way through the whole show. We're finaling it together. And when we put up the last couple episodes, after 5 years of being involved in the show, and we're particularly watching those women, those 5 women at the end. It's like we were really hit in the mixing stage in a way that you're doing your job. You're literally the music and the dialogue and what about this? You're doing all this stuff, and so much of it's technical. And we really had an emotional moment on the dubbing stage where we all just when the credits came up on 11 and 12, we were like, oh my God, look how this feels. Because for us, it's 5 years. It's 5 years for all these characters. It's 5 years for us too. So we're like, ugh.
It's over.
I feel like Luthen. I kind of feel like the old guy who's degrading as the show is going on. And I can't keep track of everything anymore.
Right.
There was a lot. There's a lot going on in the show that we could feel, the people who are making it at the end, that we didn't, that normally you wouldn't or didn't expect.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. Do you have a favorite episode of the show, personally?
I mean, 8 is the one we're selling. 8 is the Emmy one. 8 was the 8 is the one that
I cried every time.
8 is the one that really breaks everybody's back, and it's definitely the most. I'm really proud of 3. I think 3 has 3 just proved that we could kind of do any kind of filmmaking that we wanted to do. It's really complicated, and it's really complicated, and it's just really simple at the same time. And the fact that we could use that music and make that thing work, it's 3 is kind of a real accomplishment for us in a technical way, I suppose. I also just episode 10, the Luthen Clea was such an experiment, and it was so risky for us. Yeah. The fact that it works so well and it's so beautiful, and it was also very vulnerable budgetarily. We were really up against it, and I think what Luke did is amazing. Gorman's amazing, and Ferrex is amazing, and all the sets are amazing, but no one's ever going to know the miracle work that Luke did in that hospital. It's basically one set that we just keep turning around and around and around and around and around.
Really?
And the fact that it's not just economically feasible, but it's also just the best set I've ever seen for a director in my life. I mean, you always know where you are. There's just shots that line up with all the windows, and you always know where you are.
Yeah.
So I 10 is the miracle to me. 3 is the technical achievement, and 8 is the one, I guess, that really is the the backbreaker. Yeah.
I can't praise the sets enough
Oh
because
man, that guy is just
goodness. Because once
That
again, I
guy-
talk with other people about how other shows like Mandalorian done on the volume and all that, but like this one, like everything has depth to it and a certain weight where it's just like it feels different. It feels like you're actually there with the characters.
Well, you are. Yeah, I mean, you are. I mean, people don't understand with the volume that I mean, it's so hard to explain because it's always it's just an entirely different way of making a show.
Right.
If you use the volume, you have to do all your visual effects, everything first. So everything that would be around you, you guys would be in a room with, and everything that's behind you, all the keyboards, all the walls, everything back there would just be, that would be volume, but it would all be in there already. And if I move the camera around you, it's all, because it's all computerized, it adjusts for it. So like, but everything has to be done first.
Right.
We do all of that last. So it's a completely different workflow. You can't like do half of one and half of the other. It's like, you got to make a decision. And our decision was we didn't know how to do this other thing and there wasn't a volume and we wanted to do, we're going to do so many episodes. We were like, we don't know how we're going to possibly do that. So we went old school. I don't, but that's the difference. The difference is you do all the post-production first on the volume.
That sounds kind of hectic. I kind of appreciate the show more for doing it the way you did because I don't know.
Well,
like,
when on the volume, when it works, it's amazing.
Yeah,
man.
it
It's
does look
amazing when
good.
It works. Yeah, and that'll be more and more and more. And I guess people will figure out how to do both. You have to have a lot of money or a very forgiving studio to say, oh, we want to do half our show old school and half our show volume because you're gonna have like your workflow is gonna double up and you're gonna be it's gonna be so complicated. So yeah, someone will do that. We couldn't do it.
So with Andor being wrapped, would it ever be in the cards for you doing another Star Wars show, or is this is it? You're done?
I really should never say never. It's not what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna make a movie now. I got a movie that I think is probably gonna go.
Nice.
I want to make a movie. I want to direct something before it gets too late.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know. I just wouldn't want to say never, but I certainly I don't see how I could possibly do something on this level of engagement. It's just too. I mean, quite honestly, I'm too old to do it again. I mean, it's really taxing, man. It's really like
I can only imagine.
yeah.
it's like another. What are you gonna do? Take another 6-7 years of your life and do that? And you're just too vulnerable and too. You can't get sick. You can't fall down. You
Yeah.
can't. They like surfing those. You ever see those waves at Navarre when they surf those 100-foot? You've seen that big wave.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
like man, you don't stay up.
You're done.
You go down.
You go right under. You're gone.
It's like that. You can't, your homework has to be done.
Right.
You can't say, I'm going to let this go. You literally have to deal with everything that's on your desk all the time.
Yeah.
There's just no, and it just never ends. It's year after year. It's day after day. So I don't really think I can live like that again.
Yeah. It's
Understood.
got to be a huge time sink. Like, of course, we love it, but
Selfish.
you
I
got to
If
think
you're
about
30, if you're 30, if I was 35, I'd be like, well, hell yeah, I'll come back and do something in 10
Right.
years and hell yeah. But I mean, I'm not. So
if anybody else, like let's say Disney wants to continue the story of some of these characters that survived post Andor and Rogue One, if they were to ever do a story about, let's say, Clay or Bix or whatever like that, would it be a situation where you would want to be consulted at least because these are characters that you put on the screen and brought to life?
I don't own anything. I don't own one single thing in Star Wars. Nothing. I mean, if I could have, I mean, in the beginning, I think at some point when I was trying to renegotiate my deal or whatever, I was like, you know what? I'll forsake all this. Just give me Revnog or give me, let me have half a dozen. I mean, we don't own any of the stuff that we make up. None of it.
Wow.
I don't own any of it. Not one single bit.
Goodness.
No, man, that's how it was. This is work for hire.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess.
so-
It's crazy hearing how things really work because we have no idea. We find
No,
out
you don't
from.
own anything. No.
Jeez.
No passive rights on any of it. No.
Goodness.
Nope.
So they could like just use one of the characters.
Yeah,
without even asking
yeah. I mean,
you.
I guess that's how it works.
That's how it works.
They can just continue and
No, that's I mean that's you know I mean that's the you know that's why it's so hard to make deals for creators and stuff on stuff like that because you know you're going to come in
Yeah.
and I mean even before I started I knew I was going to I mean what have I mean how much intellectual property have I given them? I mean I don't even know all the planets and all the characters and all the stuff and all the canonical materials and the weapons and
A
the
lot.
shit that we made and the Pizzos and Dark Niamos and I mean it's all us. It's
Yeah.
all it's you know, but no, you don't own any of it. No.
damn. Jesus.
Just hearing this inside information. Is
Yeah, I
is-
mean,
is-
it
That's not
makes
inside. Everybody knows.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
makes
everybody
sense.
in Hollywood knows that.
yeah, it makes sense. Because I've heard about.
Imagine if I had Revnog and I went out
That's mine.
a fortified soft drink, Revnog. You don't want a Revnog right now?
What was the research process for Andor? Did they give you because with season 2 leading directly into Rogue One, did they give you like a timeline or did you read any books, watch any movies to nail certain things down? Like what was the process?
No, I mean
behind
I
it?
knew Rogue really well. I know
Oh,
Rogue
yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
So I knew where I was going. No, I mean my research was all pre. I really only know. I could only do a trivia test on my 5 years. I would not ever do a trivia test on anything that happens. I can't talk about the Republics. I can't talk about any of the stuff that happens
Right.
or the Sith Wars or any of the Clone Wars or Siths or I'm really lost. But the 5 years that I have, I know really well.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I mean, we made some decisions in there that are, like it's never. I mean, here's an interesting thing. I mean, I made a decision in the very beginning, night and day. That obviously night and day is going to be different on every planet because it's different. So I made a decision that we will never, ever, ever. We will have a consistent night and day everywhere. You probably never noticed it, but we do it for 5 years. You never paid any attention to it ever, but we never violate it. If it's night here and it's still night there and it's the next morning, it's always tracks. Everything tracks like that.
Wow.
So it's like that kind of thing is more important in many ways than knowing. And there's some questions in Star Wars you just don't want to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, the physics of it you don't want to ask. And
No,
gravity and wind, and you just don't want to ask those
Yeah. Yeah.
just happens.
We accept.
Is there any storyline or scene that you really wanted to include that you weren't able to, that you kind of like regret not putting that in there, or did everything that you wanted end up in the show?
Yeah, I think the show rubbed down to where it absolutely should be. I mean, are there things that we could have made interesting and dug in deeper? Yeah, I mean, it would have been interesting to go back to Chandrila and see what happened. I mean, it would have been interesting to have Mon Mothma confront Leia one more time and see what what horrible country club existence her daughter and Stecken had
Yeah.
playing golf in Chandrila all day every day at the club and I don't know, and it would have been fun to have Edie to go into Luthen's store one day, and it would have
Right.
been, there's all kinds of things that were cool ideas that but I don't feel that we left. I mean, Skulden's media empire and what that would have meant, and there's all kinds of things that we could have done, but in the end, I really wouldn't change what we did. I like the sharpness and the essentialness of what we put in. Everything we put in
Yeah.
is essential, and there's no wasting of time. And like you said, you got to pay attention when you watch the show. But if you pay attention, we're giving you all the nutrients you need to put it together, and
Right.
Lock in, focus.
and not like an extra portion of mashed potatoes that you didn't really want.
Everything is essential, like you said.
Yeah,
Every
that's what we
single
want.
thing.
That's what you want. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was always stuff that could be done more. You could always
Right.
do.
But not everything is a necessity.
No, and then it's just and how many shows do you watch where you're just like, wow, what are they doing? Why
Right.
are they really? They're going to go here now, and there's some shows that you watch that, and you sit there as a writer going like, oh my God, what are they going to do? They don't have enough timber to keep building. What are they going to do? We never had that problem. We
Right.
never had that problem.
Because this show never left you wanting more. Like there's nothing that you're like, well, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Like we got exactly what we wanted, and what was on screen, we were satisfied with. Of course, we would
Hope
like the
so.
show to
Yeah,
continue.
that's the plan.
But
Right,
the show can't last forever. We know that, but like everything that
Yeah.
that was given us, like we appreciated, and it means a lot because it was a complete story. Like, it's
We also
exactly-
trust you to fill in like I know I said it was important to me to write the backstory for Luthen and Clay because I didn't want other people to come in and do
Change
something
it, yeah.
funky. And that was a big issue. But most of the time you're operating on a different instinct, which is that the version that you will write for yourself is so much better than the one that I might show you that might be wrong.
Right.
Oh,
So the idea that one line here or one line there, like when Dedra says I was raised in an imperial kinderblock since I was age 3. Well, all right, we could go on and on and on about that, but you're gonna fill in your worst nightmare of the worst daycare center
Yep.
you ever thought of in your life.
Read your mind. Yep.
Yeah, or the women's house of detention nursery, whatever the fuck it is.
man.
You're gonna write your version in, and like it's always gonna be good. Like, like you ever see the Wild Bunch? You see the Wild Bunch? That movie, The Wild Bunch?
I've never watched it.
Anyway, okay. But like they went back and they reissued it. And they reissued the director's cut, and it's like Apocalypse too. The director's cut in Apocalypse and in Wild Bunch, they're just what they put in is just the version that I wrote in my head was better than the thing that they put in.
Right.
It doesn't help the movie. Like it was smart to leave it out.
Yeah. That's why I don't really ever want answers to every single question because like when they leave it up to you to figure it out, because like they'll hint at certain things, but then they leave it up to you to fill in the blanks. I like that better because like you said, what you come up with is probably better than the reality of it, or it could be like 5 different things, and you theorize with people what it could be, and both of y'all could be right, or you both
As long
could be
as
wrong.
it lands in the other place, as long as you can both get to the next thing, then then it's But there are places where you have to, like I said, with Luthen and Claire, there's a couple other places where it's like I got to nail this down because I do not trust the comment section on Reddit to tell me what this meant.
What is this?
You're gonna ruin it.
No. Oh my God, no.
Hell no.
Please don't. Yeah.
So I had one final question, and this is a small one. At the very end, the last episode during the credits, we actually hear the Star Wars theme, John Williams. For a show that held back on using any Star Wars music because you did your own thing and forged your own identity, what was the reasoning for including that at the very end?
We probably thought in the beginning that we would be trending into it much earlier. I think when Brandon came on, we were probably thinking, oh my God, by the time we get to 11, we're probably bringing in a lot of brass and we're doing this stuff and we're going to be and then I just couldn't take it. It just felt like it didn't feel like our show.
Right.
And so I kept pushing it. And finally, I mean, you have to deal with it. So when he hit that last cue, that dun, 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 that fanfare, and it is really late. It's like as late as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
It felt so good, and I'm in charge.
It was something about it being.
There are other people that probably think it should have been in earlier. Yeah, not at Disney and on my team, on the team.
I don't know, like it being during the credits, almost like a blink and you miss it type thing. I don't know, it kind of feels more earned because like if you stick around, you get to hear it, and it's like the culmination of everything and leading into what happens. I don't know, it felt like it was perfectly placed where it was.
Oh, good. I could have used you that day.
Because we were having a conversation during the credits because we always let the credits
There's
play.
people who think that and we had some other choices, but no, it's it felt jarring to me whenever we put anything, even a lot of horns. If you notice, we don't use a lot of horns because anytime we put in horns, it kicked me out of the show.
Yeah.
So our musical vocabulary was so strong that it it really exposed anytime we did that. So I really I pushed it as late as I could possibly push it. But I did love it when it does come in.
Yeah.
I do love it.
You get that strong feeling. Oh my god!
And it makes sense because like the score of Andor is it like I said, it has its own identity.
Completely.
And from season 1 is incredible. And I've been running the season 2 score on Spotify since the show wrapped, and like that it just has its own feel. So
help you sleep and I'll wake up.
yeah, because it's just a great score. Like they got this one track called I think the Bix is back when they blew up the thing and she's walking out doing the power walk and Andor shows up.
Yes.
I love that track.
The one you played through the house.
Yeah.
And I woke up trying to figure out
It's
what the
incredible.
hell just happened.
It's incredible. And like when you hear the music, you see the scene because like it matches up. Like you can see it walking away, and like it has its own feel to it. So like it's kind of where that theme is placed at the end. That's the perfect place to put it in because it doesn't detract from the other music. It's there at the end to kind of close out the show and just give you that vibe.
And we always talk about that, like when we do other videos for like shows and movies, we always talk about the music behind certain scenes.
Yeah.
Right.
It means a lot because
it's so crucial. Yeah.
it's crucial. Because movie watchers and TV show watchers, you hear a certain song, you start to get emotional, you start to feel it more. Now you feel that power behind it. It means a lot more than just sound.
Yeah.
Because
if you have the wrong music, it might not match with the scene. It might detract from the scene. But it's like when they both work hand in hand, you're locked in that much more.
Oh, we could do hours of masterclass on scoring. It's just such a fascinating topic. Well, that's the movie I'm doing. The movie I'm doing is about movie scoring.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm
Hell
doing a movie
yeah.
about movie music. Yeah. So I have a question for you. A last question for you, man.
Okay.
I've seen 2 cats. How many are there?
3. I have 3. They're usually all up on here, but I'm trying to keep them down there for the interview. But
I saw the other one lurking in the back. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't just jump up here.
She tried. I had to put it down. Like she was on my lap, but
She said, Tony?
she's a fan too. No, but this has been great. I appreciate you taking time to do this again. The show has been amazing. I've already rewatched the show 5 times, and it's one of those things where like even after it's done, you go back and watch season 1 and 2 again, and it hits different because you pick up on different things.
Yeah.
Because even though we knew the future in Rogue One, seeing it play out like this is different. Like I've talked to people that don't like prequels, and they watch this show. They're like, oh man, it's way better than what I thought it was. I'm like, see, I told you.
That pleases me more than anything. I mean, you're trying to make something that that is not disposable.
Right.
You're trying to make something that will last and has that. So that's the most pleasing thing of all. I mean, you guys have been. This is just what a wild ride. This whole thing. Have your viewers been going up? Do you have numbers? Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we get to have conversations with people in the comments too, because it's been fun.
All right. Well, it's been mighty cool to get to know you. I'll bring my movie back in a while if I ever get to make it. I think I will.
You will.
Man, don't be. You know how to find me.
Oh yeah.
All right.
If you ever need extras,
Yeah. If you need somebody to get blown up or something like that, I'm willing to get blown up. Randomly on the street.
I'll be guy hit by car number 1. I don't mind.
No, I can't wait to see it because like I love movie music. So just hearing that the movie is about that, like it's gonna be really, really dope.
I'm so happy this is like I'm so happy to finish up here. It's so appropriate.
Yeah.
All right, man. Really cool interview as usual. All right. Happy Juneteenth and
thank you.
Feed those cats and
Will do.
Take care of each other and viva la causa, man.
Well, man, always get to talk to you. Tony.
All right.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Thanks, man.
Ciao, brother.
Bye.